Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you how I make my egg veggie stew. So I'm just going to go briefly over the ingredients. You're going to need some eggs, and in here I have some tomato paste. You're going to need some fresh tomatoes. You can use diced tomatoes, that's fine. You're going to need some Scotch bonnet pepper. I'll be using 2 tins of sardine, and then these are the veggies that I'm going to add to it. Some onions, red bell pepper, green, yellow, and then a bit of carrots. So let's get started with the stew. Okay, so we're gonna start off by blending some onions with the Scotch bonnet pepper. So just cut them up into chunks. Veggies, everything has already been washed, so just cut them up into chunks, and then I'm going to add my my Scotch bonnet pepper. I love spicy food, so I'm using 4 pieces of pepper, and then I will add a bit of oil. That's how I blend my onions. I don't add water because water is going to make the cooking process longer, so I just add oil and then I will blend it. Okay, so next I will just dice up the tomatoes. Like I said, you can use already store-bought diced tomatoes, but I prefer using the fresh tomatoes to make my egg veggie stew. So this is how, just cut them up. Okay, so now everything has been cut up. I'm just going to basically put it in my bowl, set it aside, and then I'll cut up the veggies, and then we'll continue from there. So the next step is to cut up the veggies. Cut them up into any size that you want. Next, we're going to cut up the carrots. Cut up the carrots. Okay, so put the carrot aside, and then the final thing we're going to cut up is a piece of onion. So this is how I would just go around it like this. And then that's it for the veggies. So we're gonna move on to the stove and we'll start with the stew. Okay, so we're ready to start with the stew. You put a pot on the stove and add a bit of oil to it. So, and then you test to see if your oil is a bit hot. Let me see. Just have to wait for it to heat up a bit. The oil is hot now, so you pour in. This is the blended onions and then the Scotch bonnet pepper. So just add everything in, and then I'm going to let it cook down a bit before I'll add the next ingredients to it. Make sure to stir it occasionally so that you don't burn the onions. So you just stir it a bit, and then you leave it to cook more. We want the water to go down a bit before we add the next ingredient. Okay, so at this stage, I'm just going to add in my my diced tomatoes. So the diced tomatoes will go in. And then I will let it cook down a bit more. I'm adding a bit of tomato paste. So just a bit of tomato paste to it. And then after this point, I'm just going to let it cook down more before I add the rest of the ingredients. So now I'll just leave it, and then I will let it cook down a bit more, and then we'll come back to it. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to add in my spices. In here, I have some curry powder, some black pepper, some rosemary, some bay leaves, and then a little bit of shrimp cube. You can use chicken bouillon, you can use any cube of your choice. So basically that's what I have in there. Black pepper, curry, rosemary, and then some bay leaves with my cube. So just leave it to simmer down and we will be back. Okay, so now I'm just going to add just a bit of salt, not too much, just a little bit of salt to it, and then we're gonna continue to let it cook for a bit before the other ingredients will go in. Okay, so the next step, I'm going to add in my sardine. So the sardines will go in there. You can use a can of tuna, you can use corned beef, but for today I'm just using some sardines. So just be gentle at this stage, otherwise you're gonna mush all your sardines. And then leave it to simmer down for a bit. Okay, so at this stage I'm going to add in the eggs. I just cracked the eggs, and then I'm just going to lightly whisk it, and then I'll pour it in. And at this stage, you want to turn down your stove because it needs to simmer down, otherwise it's gonna burn at the bottom. So make sure your stove is on a very low heat, and then let it cook for a while. Okay, so trying to stir it a bit so that the bottom doesn't burn. Okay, and then we're going to leave it to cook more. Okay, so just going to stir it gently. And then at this stage, I'm just going to add the cut up veggies in there. At this point, you can also decide to just leave it like this, but I always prefer my food to have a bit of some color, and then other kind of veggies in there apart from the onions and the tomatoes. So I'm just going to add it. And then a little bit of more onions. Just try and stir it gently. Okay, so you can see our egg veggie stew is looking pretty good. Like, it's not yet done, but you can see it looks amazing already. And this can be enjoyed with basically brown rice, white rice, boiled yam, plantain, cocoyam, like kenke, bangkun, anything you want to eat it with. It's very much a simple stew that goes with basically everything. So we'll just leave it to simmer down a bit, and then it will be ready soon. Okay, so our egg veggie stew is ready, and then I'm going to cook some rice to enjoy with it. So I'm sure you will love it. Give it a try. Thank you for always coming back to watch all my videos. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like my videos, comment, and then share my videos. Also, make sure to hit the notification button if you haven't done so, to be able to get updates whenever I upload new videos. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.